If you want to understand why someone's blood sugar is spiraling out of control, don't start with their glucose numbers. Don't even start with their A1C. Start with something far more fundamental, the health of their pancreas. More specifically, how many functional insulin-producing beta cells they still have left. Because here's what most people are never told. By the time someone is diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, they've already lost nearly half of their beta cell mass. In many cases, between 40 and 50% is already gone. That means half of the system responsible for controlling blood sugar is no longer working. And yet, most treatments don't address that loss. They focus on managing blood sugar levels, not restoring the system that controls it. Now imagine if that wasn't the only option. Imagine if certain foods, not expensive supplements, not complicated treatments, but simple, inexpensive seeds you can buy at any grocery store, could actually support the regeneration of those beta cells, improve insulin sensitivity, and help bring blood sugar back under control at the cellular level. Because that's exactly what emerging research is beginning to show. Most people living with type 2 diabetes have been told the same thing for years, that it's a progressive condition, that it will only get worse over time, and that the best they can do is manage it. But that belief is incomplete, because the pancreas is not a static organ. It's not fixed. It has a documented ability to repair itself, to recover function, and under the right conditions, even to generate new beta cells. And those conditions are influenced directly by what you put into your body every single day. After years of studying metabolism and reviewing research in endocrinology, one pattern keeps appearing again and again. The trajectory of metabolic disease is not set in stone. It can change, sometimes dramatically, when you target the biology at its root. To understand why this works, you need to think about your pancreas differently. Most people imagine it as a simple switch. Blood sugar goes up, insulin comes out, but that's not what's actually happening. Your pancreas is more like a precision manufacturing facility. And inside that facility are beta cells, the workers responsible for producing insulin. When you're young and healthy, you have a full workforce. Production runs smoothly. Blood sugar stays stable. But over time, things start to break down. Chronic inflammation, poor diet, constant spikes in blood sugar, these create a kind of low-level stress inside the body. Not dramatic, not immediate, but persistent. And that stress slowly damages the system. Beta cells begin to wear out. Some stop functioning. Others die off completely. Now imagine that same factory years later. Instead of 1,000 workers, you now have 500. And the remaining workers are trying to keep up with the same demand. They're overworked, they're strained, and eventually they start failing too. That's the combination of insulin resistance and beta cell burnout, the two main drivers behind type 2 diabetes. But here's the part most people never hear. Those lost workers aren't always gone forever. The pancreas contains what are known as progenitor cells, essentially reserve cells that can be activated and turned into new beta cells under the right conditions. This process is called beta cell regeneration. And it's real. It's been observed in research, and it can be influenced by specific compounds found in food. One of the most important of those compounds is something called treganoline. It's found in high concentrations in fenugreek seeds. And what makes it powerful is not just that it helps control blood sugar, it actually interacts with a genetic pathway known as PDX1. PDX1 acts like a switch for beta cell production. When it's activated, it sends a signal to the pancreas to begin producing new insulin-secreting cells. In simple terms, it tells the factory to start hiring new workers again. But that's only part of the picture. Fenugreek also contains a type of soluble fiber that slows down how quickly glucose enters your bloodstream after you eat. Instead of a sharp spike, you get a gradual rise. And that matters because it reduces the pressure on your pancreas. You're not just trying to rebuild the system, you're also reducing the workload on what's left. Now combine that with other seeds that target different parts of the same problem. Flax seeds, for example, are incredibly effective at reducing oxidative stress, one of the main causes of beta cell damage. Black seed works at a different level. It activates a metabolic pathway that improves insulin sensitivity, allowing your cells to use glucose more efficiently, even with less insulin. Chia seeds slow down digestion and help stabilize blood sugar after meals, while also supporting appetite control. Individually, each of these foods has benefits. But together, they create a system that supports regeneration, reduces damage, and improves how your body handles glucose on a daily basis. And this is where consistency becomes everything. Because these changes don't happen overnight. The research that shows meaningful improvements, reductions in fasting blood sugar, improvements in insulin sensitivity, typically runs over 8 to 12 weeks. Not days, not a quick fix, but something much more powerful. A gradual shift in how your body functions at a cellular level. And the routine itself is simple. Soak fenugreek seeds overnight and consume them in the morning. Use ground flax seeds instead of whole so your body can actually absorb the beneficial compounds. Add a small amount of black seed daily. Include chia seeds soaked in water to form a gel that slows glucose absorption. And pair all of this with habits that support the same biology, like avoiding excess sugar spikes and maintaining consistency. What matters is not doing everything perfectly. What matters is doing the right things repeatedly, because your body responds to patterns. It responds to what you do every day. Type 2 diabetes is not just a number on a lab report. It's the result of underlying processes that have been developing for years. And those processes can be influenced, they can be slowed, and in many cases, they can be improved significantly. The idea that nothing can be done beyond management is outdated. Your body is more adaptable than that. It's constantly responding, constantly adjusting, constantly trying to maintain balance. The question is whether your daily habits are supporting that process or working against it. Because sometimes the difference doesn't come from a major intervention. It comes from small, consistent actions that, over time, change the direction your body is moving in. And it can start with something as simple as what you choose to eat in the morning. If this gave you a new perspective, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're interested in learning more about how simple, research-backed habits can improve your long-term health, there's more coming in the next video.